Hello, my name is Josh McGuire, and today we're going to start on a rock, paper, scissors project for our class. We're going to first start by opening up our Windows Visual Studio program, and we're going to go up here to File. File is where we're going to start either a new project or a new website. Our new project is what we want to do, so we're going to click on New Project, and we're going to start on a Windows form. A Windows form application is the form that we use as programmers to allow us to interact with code and to allow ourselves to do other stuff. We're going to come down here to the name application down here, and we're going to change it from Windows Application 1 to Rock, Paper, Scissors Project. Or to our Rock, Paper, Scissors Project. Just however we want to write it. Rock, paper, scissors is fine. We're going to let it load here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the Form 1. We're going to make it bigger. That way we're able to utilize the space that we have. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over here to our text property and see where it says Form 1. We're going to change that. We don't want it to say Form 1. We want it to say Rock, Paper, Scissors. This way it gives us something that, as we're looking at the form, it doesn't say rock, paper, scissors up at the top edge. Notice right where the mouse is moving. First thing we're going to do is we're going to add a few different things here. First things we're going to do is we're going to add some labels. We're going to add a label up top in the left-hand upper corner. We're going to add a few more labels on the screen. 4 in total. The next thing we're going to add is a few text boxes. These will come in handy later when we decide to move around our code, and when we decide to put in code, it's going to show us what our answers are and what we're typing in. The last thing we're going to add is the button, and this is going to be the primary function of the entire coding that we're going to do. Most of it's going to be on the button. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to click on each one of these labels, and we're going to come down here to the text property, and we're going to change it from label 2 to the first one we're going to change is for your choice. In the game of rock, paper, scissors, you have your choice. We're also going to come up here to the other one, and we're going to go to label 3, and we're going to change it over to computer's choice, or to CPU's choice. Now we're going to come over here to the label 4, and we're going to change that to who is the winner, or to who, and right now we're going to change it to and the winner is. That way it shows us underneath who we're actually going to be going to. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to connect to these 3 text boxes, and we're going to change them from, instead of using the text ID, now this is very important. Don't use the text ID. The text ID is what we're going to use for just the text on the screen. The name ID inside the properties box is what we're going to name it, allowing us to utilize what we have inside of our code side. This interacts more with the code side rather than just the primary side of the design. We're going to change this text box 1 to TXT, which stands for text box short, to the player's choice. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here to computer's choice, and we're going to change that from text box 2 to TXT, computer's choice, or CPU's choice. And we're going to come over down here on the list of properties, and we're going to come to something called the read-only property. Currently it's set to false, meaning we can type in this box. When we change it to true, it's no longer going to be able to be typed in, meaning it's going to become more acting like a label, but that's what we want, because as we work through the code, this box is going to be using only code that we've put in, allowing it from the randomization code that we use to choose whether it will come up as rock, paper, or scissors. We're coming down here to the and the winner is text box, we're going to click on that, and we're going to go, and first thing we're going to do is we're going to come back up to the top, and we're going to change out the name from textbox3 to txt winner. This will be the box that we use to show who the winner is. We're also going to use this as a read-only box. The reason why we're going to do this with the read-only box is so that way it cannot be changed. We just want it as the text property, or the property to be true. We're going to come up here to the label that we set up in the corner, and this we're going to change quite a bit with the font and the text. We're not going to do anything with the name ID, with just the text ID. We're going to change it from text 1 to rock, paper, scissors, as to identify the program. We're also going to come up here then to the font sizing. Notice right now it says Microsoft Sans Serif 8.25 point. See those little buttons right next to it? We clicked on it and the little buttons come up. This, when we click on it, brings up the font box. We want to change it to another style or another font called Spacebow BT, and we want to bold that. We also want to change it from 8 size font to 36 size font, thus making it real nice and big, capable of being used. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come down here to the button that we have made, and we're going to make it a lot bigger. We're going to come down here inside the properties down to the text property. Remember, this property is just what we want it to have saying on the front. We're going to call this shoot. We're going to come up here to the name property now, and instead of BTN we want to call this BTN shoot. BTN is short for button. Then we can come down here to our font, and we're going to change it from Microsoft Sans Serif 8.25 to a much larger font, 28 size font. That way it's nice and big. And we just want to realign some things right here. Make sure it looks good. Now that we've relocated some things and we've made it look a little bit better, this is the basic design for our rock, paper, scissors project. The next segment that we're going to do is going to be the programming and basic configuration of the